What you talking about, Lincoln?
Bitch, I was made for this. Yeah, bitch, I was made for this. Yeah, king of the jungle, I'm finna go ape and shit. Yeah, bitch, I was made for this. Yeah, bitch, I was made for this. Yeah, bitch, I was made for this. Bitch, I was made for this. Yeah, I'm swinging them colors, I'm feeling like blade and shit. I pay for it. These niggas all in my face. I got a game for it. Chopper go blah 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 blah. Take off your face with it. Yeah. Real nigga in it, go hard to the feet. Got like 4 or 5 hoes and we still in the trench. If he make it, we double back, spinning again. I got my whole hood on my back. These niggas hating, yeah, it's a fact. Play me too close, you won't make it back. Bitch, I was made for this. Nigga play, get the strap, make a play for the pack, get the front and the back, never relax, and I don't do too much tripping, run up the hundreds and 50, if he sneak dissing, then that boy gon' come up missing, standing on business, I got your hoe washing dishes, whatever you with then I'm with it, let's get it, boss in the building, you niggas employed, if I shoot my shot then they calling me Tory, I might hit your bitch and I won't even know it, she gon' throw that ass back, cause she know I'm like that, run up that motherfucking sack, and now that I got it, I won't give it back. Watch how you move in this bitch, cause I got a tool in this bitch. You act like a fool in this bitch, I'm up in and using this bitch. Hey, run up, get done up, it's simple. He play, get heat to his temple. Yeah, I'm really clutching, living like fuck it. Ain't no more talking, fuck all that discussion. Say, watch how you move in this bitch, cause I got a tool in this bitch. You act like a fool in this bitch, I'm up in and using this bitch. Hey, run up, get done up, it's simple. He play, get heat to his temple. Yeah, I'm really clutching, living like fuck it. Ain't no more talking, fuck all that discussion. I wanted more, I had to get up and go. Young nigga straight out the O, I hit the dough. Mama, I'm sorry, I know. Can't let them play me for hoe. Can't let them do it. If money talking, I'm fluent. Fuck class, I was truant. Big bag connoisseur. Red flags, lot of shooters. Pull up on you like a Uber. Chopper singing hallelujah. Pockets fat, how you doing? Won't speak on no shit that I did. That shit kinda stupid. Face car good in the hood, I'm reppin'. Wish a nigga would on the hood, I'm steppin'. Big dog, great, they ain't really been pressure. Dirty Glock to his top with it, no effort. Yes, sir. 25 lighters on my dresser. Extra. If he try to play me, I'ma stretch him. Bless him. Top notch hoes, none lesser. Flexin'. Top notch flow, unquestioned. Ever. Spin like an airplane propeller. Iced out my ear and my bezel. My hustle relentless. Yeah, that bitch won't let me settle. I'm mashing my foot on the pedal. Watch how you move in this bitch. Cause I got a tool in this bitch. You act like a fool.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to, Shin 214's channel. I don't really have a cool name to call this place or whatever. Um, I'm actually surprised there's like 13 of y'all in here. I didn't expect the 13 of y'all to be in here. I thought I was gonna do a quick dip in and a quick dip out, you know. I got asked a couple of times to go live, you know, because I expressed that I've done story times and things like that. So here I am. I'm live. What's up? Hey, Callie Boo. You know I love you down. What's up, Roast to Toast, bro? What's up? What's up? Sorry it took me so long to get on. I was trying to also get on through my laptop so I can kind of maneuver a little bit better, but it's moving a little slow and I don't want y'all to have to wait on me. So, um, yeah, here I am. So, how's everybody doing on this good Sunday? I see there's a lot going on. And to be honest with y'all, I'm still debating, even though I'm live, I'm still debating on even if I want to discuss what's been going on in these YouTube streets. Butter Love, hey baby. I be trying so hard not to say your name, you know what I'm saying? Your legal name. Cause when I realized it was, you, I was like, oh my gosh, 'cause I haven't seen you in so many years. I hope all is well. I hope you're doing good. It's so good to see you in these YouTube streets. Hey baby, hey Royalty Rain, how you doing, my love? Hey Timothy, how you doing? Um, I just came on real quick because I've been getting quite a few requests, which I'm a little shocked about because it's like y'all really want little me to go live and talk. I know I told y'all I do story times, but y'all actually want to hear the shit. Y'all actually want to hear my stories or whatever. Um, but yeah, I'm just kind of on here till maybe somebody else go on here, or I have to get off for whatever reason. I am a mom and whatnot, so we'll see how that goes. But so one of the things I did kind of want to talk about, or what I should say, one of the things that I do when I decide to go live, I go live very far, few in between, is give a life update. And I'm sorry, I'm not as turned as most content creators. I don't really do all that unless I'm mad. But yeah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Hold on, my dog's just kind of busted into my room. Let me take care of that real quick. Y'all staying? Y'all staying or y'all going? Man, close the door. You staying? Okay. Those of you that may know, I have a German Shepherd and I also have a Yorkie, and they can't be without me. Yeah, see, I didn't think I was gonna keep the whole 13 of you in here. I didn't expect that, but I do appreciate the few that decided to stay. Um, I really don't have no hot tea for y'all. I mean, if y'all got any questions, you feel free to drop them in the comments. A subscriber in another chat yesterday had suggested that I do a Q&A, which I thought would be a good idea, but at the same time, I kind of thought, a Q&A for me, like, I really don't be doing nothing for real in these YouTube streets. You know what I'm saying? I don't really get on panels. I'm limited to what I say in chats. And to be honest, I don't even be in the chat the whole time. I'll be doing other shit. So like you'll see me in the chat and then I may mess around and go play a game on my phone, or I may go do something with my kids, or I may get a phone call or something like that. So I don't be in chats like that. You know what I'm saying? So like you may see me and then you may not. But as I was explaining before, I kind of like to do little small life updates. With that being said, a few of you know me kind of well. You know, those of you that used to come to my lives when I did go live a little more frequently. And to those of you that do not know, I suffer from an illness called hypothyroidism. It's a thyroid disease, or a lack thereof, a thyroid disease. I got my thyroid taken out almost 2 years ago. So with that, I kind of go through different symptoms. So because of those symptoms, I don't really go live as often as I should. So y'all please bear with me if I sound a little drained, if I sound a little down, a little out of it or whatever. Charge it to my illness and not to me, cuz before this illness, I was a little more lit. I was a little more turned, but I'm not gonna lie, this illness is kind of slowing me down a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. But yeah, I had a couple of subscribers ask me, Shan, when you gonna do the story time? When you gonna do the story time? And I kept giving, different reasons on, why I haven't been live, but they kind of sound like excuses. So I was like, well, let me just go ahead, go live, kind of see what happens. Like I said, the subscriber has suggested that I do a Q&A. I would have put a Q&A in the title, but it's like, what the fuck y'all gonna ask me for real? You know what I'm saying? But who knows? Hopefully the questions are respectable if y'all do have questions. If not, then I'm just gonna kind of chat a little bit and see how it goes. Um, yeah, so damn, I just kind of lost my train of thought. My dogs are kind of walking around, kind of. I don't know if y'all hear them, but one of them was crying because I closed the door on his ass. So there's that. But man, there's a lot going on in these YouTube streets, right? You have the whole, situation with China, with Cali, and so on and so forth. Then you got some other situations out here that I don't know if I should even speak on. Cause woo child, it's a lot going on. And I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to start. Now, see, yeah, I see four people now. That's what I'm used to. I'm used to a very small crowd. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Even though I had like maybe 17 starting off, it kind of borderline gave me anxiety a little bit because I feel like y'all are expecting something that may or may not go down. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Um, as far as the YouTube streets go and how I maneuver, I'm typically kind of quiet. I kind of say to myself, let me see. A lot of times I speak and keep moving. I try to read the room before I join in the chat. Nah, for real, but like sometimes I won't even go in certain chats. Like if I see certain people on the panel, like once I go in there and I see certain people on the panel, I just politely leave. Because I either detect how the energy's gonna go, or I'm just automatically annoyed. I'm not even gonna front. Some people just annoy me by hearing their voice on this motherfucker. Not to say that, I'm the most lit person or most interesting person on here, but a lot of these motherfuckers get on my nerves. I'm not even gonna front. You know what I'm saying? I don't bother nobody. I tend to try to stay out the way as much as I can, but sometimes some of y'all be kind of fucking with me for real, and I really be trying to just like ignore. You know what I'm saying? Like leave well enough alone. Because at the end of the day, shit's not worth it. But I see my numbers are kind of fluctuating, so I like to say hey to those who are popping in, kind of checking in. Feel free to stay if you like. If not, it's all good. Every time I get go live, it's kind of a new thing for me. I gotta always readjust and kind of get a feel for everything. I still don't even know how StreamYard works, and I've been using StreamYard off and on for the past 4 or 5 years. Hey Ling Lang, said how are you? How you doing? I'll be praying for your health. I believe in Jesus Christ respectfully. Ling Lang, we on the same page. I believe in God too. I'm a Christian. So I appreciate that. Please pray for me. I appreciate all positive prayers, all positive energy. Um And I appreciate you saying respectfully because we are online, so you just never know how people move or anything. But no, we are on the same page, Ling Lang. So thank you. I truly appreciate that. Um, as I'm talking to y'all, I'm still trying to decide if I want to do a story time today, and if I do a story time today, which direction I want to go because I can kind of go sad. I don't really have a lot of happy stories, to be honest with you. Um, I hate to say that, but I don't really have a lot of super, happy things that have transpired in my life, but I do have stories that I would like to share in the hopes of helping others and letting people know that it's okay to not be okay or giving that My bad, you guys. My bad, my bad. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now? Hello, hello, hello. Shit. Okay. Okay, good. I'm sorry, my bubble is not moving anymore, so I can't tell if you guys can hear me. Okay, good. My daughter just called to let me know she's off of work, so I told her to call her dad. But yeah, I'm back. But as I was saying, okay, cool, cool, cool. As I was saying, I don't really my story times can come across as kind of dark, and I know when it comes to some people, it can often be like, dang, does she not have anything like uplifting or whatever, whatever. And to be honest with you, not that I can think of right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe as I get more comfortable with, expressing myself, getting going on lives a little bit more, which is also kind of hard because I am a mom and they always are in my face, always. If it's not my daughters, it's my dogs. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure I have something positive to talk about. It's just not in my aura at the moment. Like for example, Mother's Day has just passed last weekend, and Mother's Day is typically kind of hard for me due to the fact that my mother passed away on the 10th of May. So, Mother's Day is kind of hard because her death anniversary is either on Mother's Day, the day before, or the day after. And I don't know if these dogs got a child. They're so annoying. But, y'all get out. 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 Okay. So, let me see. You're a survivor. A lot of positive encouragement, survival stories is in you. I appreciate that. You do have a point there. Your life is yours. No one can tell it like you. Yeah, that's very true. That's very, very true. But yeah, as I was saying, so my mother's death date is always around Mother's Day. So it's hard for me to want to celebrate Mother's Day and things like that. And it's not really so much because she passed away. Well, I mean, it does because she passed away, but it's more so how she passed away, if that makes sense. And the dynamic, of that situation. So, I guess while I'm here, I can use that as my first story time of when she passed away and, how that happened and, how I was feeling in that. And I don't want y'all to take it as like a woe it's me type of situation because I'm not over here, sliding down the walls or, anything like that. I'm okay. If my tone seems a little off, I apologize again. I have a health condition, so it kind of slows my energy down. So just, charge it to my mind and not my heart. But anyway, here we go. You don't know who you may touch or reach. Never be afraid to tell your truth. I appreciate that, but it's just so nerve wracking to want to tell these stories because of the sector that we're in, right? Like, it'd be different if I was just on dry ass YouTube, like other storytellers where they can go and they can post their stories and, that be that. Either you listen to them or you don't, and you keep it moving. But because we're in this sector that we're in, i.e., the Mo3 sector, the quote unquote troll beef sector, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of hard for me to want to express myself because people here use it as a tool to want to hurt you for some odd reason. And for that, I would never understand. That's why, outside of going live and I'm just in chats, I try to keep it cool, you know? I was thinking the same thing, except that people use it as ammo. Exactly, R&R. And that's what I get nervous about because, I don't really get into it with nobody. I really don't, I try not to bother people, but you just never know. It's so easy and so quick to piss a person off around here that you just really got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Um, So hey Shan, I didn't know you had a page. Yeah, I kind of keep it low key. Back in I've had this page. I want to say since 2016, and I was doing pre-recorded videos at the time. I was doing a lot of vent sessions, a lot of storytelling. Like that's when I was really big on my storytelling and calling out people that have wronged me and different things like that. And I was starting to gain a little motion that way, but I had a minor setback. I kind of let depression get to me, and I'm kind of too nice, so I kind of let the person that I was telling said stories about kind of get in the way of what I was doing. I was, kind of dealing with a couple of narcissists at the time. Let me see. Ling Lang says, "Yeah, you're right. It's the sector. Not knowing that your story could bless them with something they may be struggling with, but they rather troll." Exactly. And let me see, girl. You should have told me. I'm sorry, Sarah. I don't even really be thinking about it honestly, because I don't know. I get real nervous, and I don't really go live often. I'm really gonna try to do better, but I also don't want to go live and tell my stories, and then they kind of fall on deaf ears because everybody's else going live and they about bullshit, and you know how we love our bullshit, right? We love the mess, we love the drama, we love hearing who did what, and how they got caught up and different things like that. What's up, Justin? You're a Scorpio too? Oh, shout out to the Scorpios. Turn up, turn up. But y'all male Scorpios, y'all mean. Y'all mean on the cool. Wait a minute, cam up. Now, why you ask me to do that? My face is all puffy. I'm going through an illness. I don't really look my best. I'm not even going to hold you. I'm looking kind of crazy. I'm looking kind of crazy. Let me see. What's up, Hankin? How you doing? Your oldest daughter's a Scorpio. Justin? When is your birthday? When is your oldest daughter's birthday? Mine is November 4th. I'm a November Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio too. Oh, turn up, Ling Lang. So y'all get me. November 9th. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, we're pretty close, Justin, when it comes to the birthday now. We're pretty damn close. That's lit. I didn't know that. 11:15. I want to say that's a special number. The 15. Um, it's something about the number 15. I'm gonna have to get back with you on that. Um, I can't remember at the moment, but it's something about the number 15. Yeah, Justin, most definitely. I wish you the best. Your content will bring the audience that's for you. Thank you, Butter. 11:07. Oh my gosh, we're all so close. Oh my goodness. Like most people that say they Scorpios that I've come across are usually like October Scorpios or they're late November Scorpios, like the 20th, or right at the end, or they're cusp babies. They're in between the Sag and Scorpio. I very rarely find Scorpios that are around my, dates or whatever. Thank you, Justin. See you later, love. Thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. But yeah, as we was talking about, I think it was about my mom, right? So I love Scorpios. I'm a Cancer. We seen the other. Oh my gosh, R, you a Cancer? I think that's why we get along. I love Cancers. I love them. My baby daddy is a Cancer. Yes, Sarah. Thank you so much. It's been kind of hard growing this page because I'm not really active like that. Ling Lang, I am healed, I am loved, I am beautiful. I'm going to screenshot that because those are some amazing affirmations right there. Amazing. Buddy, your husband's a Scorpio. Now I know you love him down. I know you love him down. But he don't play no games. I know he's probably real quiet, chill, docile, but he'll get out there if needed be. You know what I'm saying? But he thinks before he does. Like, am I wrong? Am I right? Am I around the ballpark? Because we forget about the other signs too. So depending on his other signs that he's adjacent to, you just never really know. So I don't want to say that like I'm just super correct, but that's usually the typical male Scorpio, unless you get into their different signs. Like I'm a Scorpio, Cancer, Capricorn. If y'all know what that means, I'm a Scorpio, Cancer, Capricorn. We sure do, yeah, yeah. And with us women, we're chill, but we turn up a little quicker, than most times. We try to think things through, so it may look like to most people we just was sporadic with our bullshit, but we wasn't sporadic at all. We knew exactly what we were doing, when we were doing it, how we were going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. So you know, that's the Scorpios. That's just how we rock. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. So, back to my mom. My mom was a Libra. I'll start there. Since we're talking about signs, let me see. Scorpios need to be fucked with. It take a lot to push y'all buttons, but baby, exactly, R&R. It takes a lot to push our buttons because we really be trying. Like I would go so far as to go cry before I react because I'm crying for me. I'm not crying. I'm not crying because you necessarily hurt my feelings. I'm crying because I'm afraid of how I'm going to snap, or if you're near me, I'm trying not to lay my hands upon you, right? We are, oh yeah, oh butter, y'all are like the perfect match. Yes, y'all are the perfect match. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Us Scorpios get a bad rep, but we really be trying. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get called weak. we get called this, we get called that, but people just don't understand. We really be trying to save y'all on the cool, because once we pop, the fun don't stop. You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily mean like actual fun. I mean like when we get to moving furniture around, tearing up shit, tearing up your shit, want to fight you for real, or whatever violent things we might decide to do. It took us a lot to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? But to a person that doesn't really pay attention, that's not really observant, they'll think, oh, they just crazy. Oh, she just snapped for real. No, you been fucking with me and fucking with me and fucking with me, and now I snapped, and now you think I'm mean, and now you think I'm crazy, and that's not the case. I've tried. I've went the route of asking you to leave me alone. I went the route of crying. I went the route of trying to maneuver different. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done all these things, and you keep taunting me. You know what I'm saying? So I lash out. But I try not to let that side of me come out because it's very hard for me to swallow that back up. You know what I'm saying? So what I decided to do is just really just stay out the way as much as I possibly can, and I really think that I'm going to get more and more out the way. The more and more I see how things are going in this sector, and in these lives, and in these little situations that we witness and watch, you know, um, I realize that sometimes my opinion comes out more and more than it should, you know. And at the end of the day, none of this stuff is my business that goes on YouTube. A lot of this stuff really, okay, so we all say shit that goes on here is entertainment, right? But to me, it's not really just entertainment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times we're watching people in their true selves spill out to the internet, right? And sometimes for me, it's kind of hard for me to not say anything or not want to reach out and make sure that person's okay, and, yada, yada, yada. But I have to dial it back a little bit because sometimes people don't want that. Sometimes people, want to dwell in their bullshit. So you got to let them. You know what I'm saying? But, I know when to hold them and hold them, but he's the calm and I'm the storm. Yeah, and that's ironic, right? Because usually, Scorpios get the rap for being the storm, but Cancers, they snap too. Like Cancers don't be playing. You know what I'm saying? I keep telling myself I'm gonna try to stay away too. But the Cancer in me is very vocal. Yeah, most definitely R&R, and that's kind of where the battle is because technically we're all grown, right? So we should be able to say our piece and say our opinions and have grown up conversations and all that jazz. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of the times people just want to hear bullshit. You know, a lot of the times people don't care for all of that. You know what I'm saying? They just want to hear the yelling and the fighting and the carrying on and whatever, and that's entertainment to them. You know. Hold on, can y'all hold on for a brief second? Okay, hold on.
What you talking about, Lincoln?
Bitch, I was made for this. Yeah, bitch, I was made for this. Yeah, king of the jungle, I'm finna go ape and shit. Yeah, bitch, I was made for this. Yeah, bitch, I was made for this. Yeah, bitch, I was made for this.
My bad, guys. Can y'all still hear me? Pride, love, respect is everything. Can y'all still hear me? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Because my bubble is not moving yet again. Okay, perfect. Okay, my bad, guys. My oldest daughter just got home from work. She got her first job. She's graduating next week. Oh my gosh, I'm in my field. She just had her prom, I want to say about 2 weeks ago. I'm getting old, y'all. I'm truly getting old. But those are my girls. I'm a very, very involved mom. I try to make sure I'm available at all times. I'm a stay-at-home mom. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. I also have my middle daughter. She's on her way to being a junior. And then my youngest baby, she just graduated from the 5th grade. She's going to the 6th. So I'm very proud, and the more and more y'all get to know me, you'll understand why I'm so proud. I'll give y'all a little tidbit. I have two estranged children. I have two children that was taken from me. Um, that's a very traumatic situation that I have to deal with mentally every day. No, I will never be okay, even though I just go about my day. But I have two estranged children, a son and a daughter, that I don't get to see due to the fathers, being mad at me for not wanting to be with them. I was also in an abusive relationship with my son's dad once upon a time, many, many years ago. So he took my son out of spite. I will do a story time on that one day, but I just kind of want to share that little bit of information with you guys, just so y'all can kind of get an understanding of me and um, why I am the way I am and why I maneuver the way I maneuver. If that kind of makes sense, because I like to believe, like, um, sharing certain tidbits can kind of give you character traits. Like, well, not give me character traits, but let y'all know my character traits. Okay? But because of that, the daughters that I have with me, they stick to me like glue. So I'm a very involved stay-at-home mom. Um, I don't like, you may see me in chats, but I'm not really in them like that. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not reading, the chat is heavy. I'm not in there super heavy as most people are. It may look like I am, but I'm really not. Um I be doing other shit. So, it is what it is. But as I was stating, I will be able to one day open up and tell you guys a story about my strange daughter and my strange son. They are 17 and 18. So I do pray that one day that we can, you know, be around each other, and we can heal, you know? Um, I mean, at the end of the day, I will say this, like, I wasn't negligent. I don't have any CPS cases. I don't have any cases on me. I don't have any situations, on me or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I was I just fell into some dumb situations, and because I fell into those dumb situations, in my opinion, I feel like God kind of taught me a lesson. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe it was God, punishing me for falling for the traps, or maybe it's the devil that did. I don't. That's something that I won't know until I know. You know what I'm saying? But what I do know is I pray that one day, they can find me, or well, I ain't gonna say find me, because my son has found me. Like, he followed me on social media. We may not talk a lot, but we can kind of see how each other's living. He's thriving. He's doing great. He's a boxer. He's number 3 in the United States for his age and his weight class. He's always been a fighter. He's been a fighter since he was a baby. Uh, he's been on the news a couple of times, so I'm blessed to be able to kind of be in the shadows and kind of watch him thrive and grow. But it's also kind of heart wrenching for me because I don't get to be that supportive mom that I want to be. But he does have a support system. From what I see, he is loved, and I made sure that I've let him know uh, a couple of times before that um, I'm sorry. I didn't think I was gonna cry, but whew, hold on. I'm okay, guys. I promise. I promise. I'm just a little sensitive. Um, my illness kind of affects my depression a little bit, so I cry a little easy. Excuse me for that. I'm okay, but I pray that one day I can be a part of his support system as well. My daughter, that's strange. She's autistic, and she's more on the nonverbal side, so it's kind of hard to try to combat that, to fight that, to go to my she currently lives in my hometown, so it's kind of hard to fight for that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause she's so grounded. She has a support system. She has a therapist and things like that. And I don't want to interfere. Location, hey, how you doing, love? How's it going? Thank you for stopping by. I'm just kind of jumping back and forth from, talking about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. One thing about me, I'm a little random, a little sporadic, so I hope y'all kind of stay with me. But I'm sorry, y'all, for the tears. That's another small reason why I don't hop on here as often, because I'm hella sensitive, hella sensitive, and I be trying to hide that. I'm not even gonna front. I'll be a little transparent with you guys. So, um, yeah, um, there's that. But previously we were talking about my mother and the day she passed away and why Mother's Day is not a regular Mother's Day for me, right? No need to apologize. Your feelings are valid. Staying. I appreciate that. Yeah. I'm really random. I kind of jump from one thing to another. So there's that. Y'all really see that the more and more I go live. Please excuse me if y'all hear my dogs. My youngest daughter has company. Her childhood friend, her best friend is here. I'm saying childhood friend like she's not still a child, but her friends since she was, a toddler, since they were toddlers, are here and they're playing. So my dog gets overly excited. My German Shepherd, he's about to be 3 next month. So he's still kind of a baby in my eyes, and he gets a little excited when he sees people. So if I don't know if y'all hear all that in the background because I got my door closed, but if y'all do, yeah, it's just my babies, just my house moving and grooving. But yeah. So anyway, I'm just gonna get down to the story. So this was on I can't remember the day of the week, of course, it was so long ago, but I remember sitting on the phone. I was chatting with my high school friends and we shooting the shit, we talking or whatever, laughing, joking. I'm all on 3-way, had my kids playing in the living room, and I kept getting this call from my oldest sister. Now, me and my oldest sister we don't really mesh well. And at this point in time, this is one of the times that we weren't speaking. Um, Before I finish going there, just to give y'all context on that, me and my oldest sister are also estranged as of now. We've been estranged for almost 9 years. I had to go complete non-contact with her due to the fact that she stole my whole identity. Um, she pretended to be me for many years in all aspects of life. So I'm still dealing with that. Because of that, I can't do certain things. Um, yeah. So there's that. And at this point, my mom, she passed back in 2012. So at this point, this is one of the moments that we wasn't speaking. We kind of went back and forth with being cool, being not cool, because that's my big sister. Like, that's a blessing. That's like, that was my person that I looked up to, I wanted to be just like her, you know what I'm saying? So, we went through a lot of toxicity. But anyway, I digress. That's a whole nother story. So I kept getting a phone call from her, but me being petty and me being, on my bullshit, like, man, fuck her. 2 of you would be a blessing. Well, there's actually 3 of us, Timothy. Like, I have 2 sisters. I'm the youngest. I also have a brother. So I have a sister that's 10 years older than me. I have another sister that's like 8 years older than me. And then I have a brother that's 3 years older than me. And then it's my black ass. That is me. So, and that whole dynamic is kind of interesting within itself. But again, I don't want to put too much on y'all, give y'all too much information at once. But the more and more y'all get to know me, the more and more y'all understand my family dynamics, my life, my growing pains, so on and so forth.
No, two Shans. Oh no, you don't want two Shans. No, that's not good for nobody. No, we don't want that. No, we definitely don't want two Shan 214s. No, we don't need that. We don't want that. Thank God I was not a twin. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Don't y'all gotta chill with the compliments and the positive energy because y'all gonna have me really in here boohooing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm such a softie. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'd be trying to watch these streets the fuck. Oh my gosh, like we do not need two Shans out here. No. Fun fact: before I finish this small story about my mom, I had what they called a twin cousin. And keyword, y'all heard me say had. She passed away back in 2012. She was unalived due to some domestic situations. She was beautiful, y'all. Oh my God, she was so beautiful. We was born on the same day. We was born just like about 2 hours apart from each other in the same hospital. So I can only imagine like how confusing that must have been to the family because they didn't know what room to go into, like who to visit first or whatever. Hold on real quick. My daughter needs me. Let me put y'all on a brief hold, okay? Hold on just a sec. Thank y'all so much for holding. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate that. My middle baby wanted to show me her hair. She has some beautiful hair, and those braids that are out now. I don't know what they're called, but they're like box braids, but you have the curly pieces, the curly strands that come out. She did her real hair like that, so she wanted to show me. And we're girls, so she knew I wanted to see that shit. So I had to be like, ooh, I had to see that. But get out, Cairo. Out, boo boo. Out, Cairo. I love you, but get out because you ain't going to stay in here. Yeah, basically, he said curly fry hair. Yeah, like, she has her braids and then she has like the curly strands that's coming out, within the braids. Like it's adorable. It's really, really cute. But anyway, um, but yeah, the more and more y'all get to know me, the more and more y'all understand the dynamic. But yeah, we definitely don't need two Shans around here because I have a couple of different sides to me. I have that docile, you know, best man description I could give. Hey, you did better than what most men would say. You know what I'm saying? You could have said all kinds of crazy shit. I've heard men refer to hairstyles as like worms and some more shit. So no, that I can do the curly fry. I can, yeah. That was funny. But yeah, no, we don't need two Shans. That can get real dark around these streets. You know what I'm saying? That can get real negative around this bitch, you know? But anyway, so I was chatting with my homegirls. I kept getting this call from my sister, and I'm being petty, and I'm ignoring them. But then I get this call from my brother's baby mama. And, we cool and all, but I really didn't, we not cool to where we just had conversations. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't really the talk to each other all the time type of, people. So when she called, I knew something wasn't right. Oh, okay, I see my chat bubble now. Okay, there we go. I knew something wasn't right. So I answer the phone. I tell my homegirls, hold on, let me click over. I click over and I'm like, hey, such and such, what's going on? And she is like frantic. And the first thing she says is, your brother is at work and he's screaming at the top of his lungs. And I'm like, what? My brother? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Fun fact about my brother is a Gemini. One thing y'all are going to learn about me, I love talking about zodiac signs to an extent. So when I tell y'all these stories, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell y'all what sign they are so y'all can kind of get a gist of who these folks are. Okay? Okay. So, my brother, again, he's a Gemini. Okay? So, to hear that he is screaming at the top of his lungs, him, I'm already on alert. So, she's in mid-sentence trying to explain that she doesn't know why he's screaming at the top of her lungs. I'm like, all right, gotta go, gotta call my brother. Like, I'm not trying to hear you no more because I know something isn't right. And I instantly get a chill. I just knew something wasn't right, but I did not know in a million years that it had something to do with my mom. Okay? Um, One thing about my mom and I, like I said, my mom is a Libra, and she suffered from mental illness, and she also suffered from alcoholism. So we had a very dark relationship. Like, I ended up moving out the house at an early age. At one point I went non-contact from her. It was a lot of things that went on. And again, that's one of those things that the more and more y'all will get to know me, the more and more y'all will get those stories and get an understanding of who I am. Y'all don't understand how this works. So, back to the story. So I called my brother, and this random lady picks up my brother's phone. And the first thing that she expressed to me, she's like, hi, I don't know who this is. All I know is that he has a baby by your name. I said, I'm his baby sister. She goes, oh my gosh, okay, you're exactly who I need to talk to. So I'm like, what's going on? And at this moment, as she's saying this, I hear my brother screaming. To hear a grown man scream, like to hear a grown man cry alone is one thing. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about that bullshit narcissistic crying when they done got caught cheating or some dumb shit like that. I'm talking about when a real man is going through their emotions and they're actually crying because they feel pain, they feel hurt. You know, oh shit, it's thundering. It's about to rain really hard. Okay, so I hear my brother, and this woman is on the phone. She's like, your brother is laid out. I know you hear him screaming. I'm like, yes, I hear it. I need to speak to him, and I need to speak to him right now. That's all I kept saying. I was like, put my brother on the phone. Put him on the phone. And she's like, I think somebody has passed away in your family. And I froze again. And I get to shaking. Because for her to say that, and then to hear my brother screaming the way he's screaming, I know it has to be somebody that's super, 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 super close. At this moment in time, I do not think that it's my mom. Okay? At this moment, I haven't heard from my mom in like 2 weeks, a week and a half, somewhere around there, which is not, it's normal, but it's not normal at the same time, given our situation, right? So I'm demanding that I speak to my brother. At this point, I'm getting hysterical. I'm already crying. I'm shaking. I'm scared. I'm truly scared. So she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna hold the phone to him. I'm gonna put you on speaker. I have him in my office. I'm gonna because he won't take the phone." I said, "Okay." So she puts me on speaker, and we're just gonna call him Brad. Okay, we're gonna call my brother Brad. His name is not Brad. You know, come on now. But we're gonna call him Brad, and I'm like, Brad, baby, what's going on? What's wrong? What is wrong, my baby? What is wrong? That's all I kept saying. And he screams at me and he says, she's gone. She's gone. He just kept saying it. She's gone. And I'm like, who? Who's gone? And that's when he says, our mom. Our mom is gone. And I'm trying to play dumb because I'm really not trying to hear the shit. So I'm like, what do you mean gone? You know? And he's like, she died. She died. He kept yelling it. He just kept saying, she died. She died. She passed. She passed. So at this point, I dropped the phone. I start screaming. Um, my two kids are in the living room. They're young at this point. They're like 4 and 2, and all I can think about is I gotta get to my mom. I gotta, and I got these. I got my kids. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how to handle this, and I'm just screaming at the top of my lungs. So I try to console my brother the best way I can. I tell the manager to please try to calm him down because I gotta call his baby mama back so she can go and get him because he can't drive. Like I don't know who's all in here. I only see 2 people in here, but I don't know if you still have your parents or anything like that. But if you don't, I'm pretty sure y'all can feel how that feels to find that out while at work and you can't move. You know what I mean? So I instantly called my godmom and I'm, screaming at her. I'm crying. I'm letting her know what's going on. All the while, my mom's death is on the news and I had no idea. To this day, I've never seen it, on the news or it played out on the news or anything like that. But I was told it was on the news, and at the time, I didn't know why her unalive, her being unalive was on the news. I didn't know until later on, like much, much later on. So as this is going on, my strange sister is still calling and she's leaving voice messages. So when I finally get off the phone, it was I ended up having to click back over, do all this going on, and I'm telling my friends what's going on. They're on their way to come console me. It's a lot going on. And I'm at this point. I'm listening to the messages, and she's begging that I answer the phone. She's like, "Please, I know you. I know you hate me right now, but please answer. It's our mom. It's our mom. Please, please answer the phone." Blah 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 blah. So, make a long story short, as I possibly can, I get a babysitter. I rush out there to the site. They got everything taped off. I can't go in there. I can't do anything. They're holding me back. At this point, I'm looking for her boyfriend because I'm ready. I'm ready to do some shit. If you know what I'm saying, like I'm ready to regulate because in my heart of hearts, I felt like whatever happened, he did it. A little backstory with that: my mom was going through a domestic violence situation. Her and my dad had separated, and she ended up getting a boyfriend, and he was abusive towards her. She kept that from us for a very long time. By the time I found out, she was very deep into it. I've made a few threats. I've moved some furniture around. I've turned up a couple of times on this man and let him know, you know, I'm not the one to play with when it comes to my mama. All 5'3", 5'3" of me. Moved some furniture, flipped some tables, flipped the couch too. Kind of showed him my strength. Kind of let him know that it's not just the son that you have to worry about. But my mom protected this man. And that's what we do a lot of the times when we as women is broken. We go through abusive relationships. That abuser tends to break you down to a point where you feel like, let's just be honest, you end up doing some dumb shit behind that person. You know what I'm saying? You start to feel like you're alone. They alienate you from your family. And so she felt like she had to hide that part of her life from us because she felt unloved. So she felt alone, So we go through the motions. I will save y'all the trouble of all the minor details, the funeral arrangements, the blah blah blah, the blah blah blah. But I'd say about 2 weeks later, I go back to her apartment so I can, maybe try to get some things of hers that she left behind that I can remember her by. I took a couple of wet knots and one of her perfumes that I, I believe I still have somewhere that I can look at from time to time. And that's when I start to kind of learn and notice some things about the situation. Um, Come to find out, I didn't find out till later that he unalived her, but it was how he did it that was crazy to me. Like, the way he unalived my mom, he did it to where it won't be detectable. He did it to where we couldn't press charges. So basically, what he did was, my mom was a diabetic, okay? And no, out. My bad, y'all, my dog. But my mom was a diabetic, and she was on insulin. For those of you that don't know, insulin is a shot that they gotta put in the thigh, um, with a syringe or whatever. And what he used to do, sorry, I had to kind of take a deep breath there. What he used to do on the side of abusing her was he used to, when he got mad at her because he was on rugs. I don't think we can say the actual words, so I'm going to say rugs. He was on rugs, and she wouldn't support his habit. So when he would get mad and go on these tangents, he would hide her medicine from her. And make that part of the story shorter, he hid it for so long to where she went into like a cardiac arrest, but it wasn't for the heart, it was for her pancreas. And I can't, I don't know the term, I don't know what it's called, it's such a long word, but the coroner had expressed it to me later what it was called. But what basically happens is, when you don't have your insulin for long periods of time, you go into this kind of a shock, and you pretty much pass on. And he pretty much told her that's what he was going to do. Like, he was going to make sure that nobody else would have her, nobody else would ever be with her. Now, there's a lot of other details when it comes to their relationship and how he was with her, and maybe one day I can express that, but right now it's just too hard. It's just too hard. Maybe one day I can get there, but not today. But that's what he did, and I was so confused when I talked to the coroner, because one thing about the coroner in that situation that a lot of people don't know, sometimes when it comes to autopsies, you don't get the autopsy right then and there. You know how y'all watch First 48 or Law and Order SVU, or all those crime shows, and y'all hear them say the autopsy right then and there. Well, realistically speaking, that doesn't always happen. In my mom's case, her autopsy wasn't completed until 6 months after her death. So I had to go 6 months of not knowing what happened to my mom. But the day that the 6 month mark hit, oh, I was calling. I caught that corner right when they opened. And I made sure that I got an answer. And I got my answer. And when they expressed to me that she went through this situation, that her pancreas just stopped working, basically, I asked them, I said, how does that happen? Like, is that just something that just can randomly happen, like a heart attack or a stroke, or like, how does that happen? And they expressed to me that the only way that it happens is you not being with your, insulin, you being without your insulin. So that's when I knew that my mom was unalive, because my mom may have been an alcoholic. She definitely was an alcoholic. However, what my mom was not was irresponsible. She took her medicine if she didn't do anything else every morning. She ate her healthy meal with her medication every morning. I knew my mom's routine. So I told the coroner right then and there, I said, well, I need to speak to a detective. Like, how do I go about doing that? Because my mom was unalive. My mom had to have been because my mom took her insulin on a daily, on a regular, no matter what. No matter what she went through in life, she took her insulin. And the coroner expressed to me, and the detective expressed to me later, later on, that there was really nothing that they can do because of how it was done. Like he didn't physically, like hit her or hurt her, or nothing like that. So and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, a lot of the shit that they said kind of sounded like womp womp womp. Once I heard they can't do anything, after that all I heard was womp 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 womp. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I shut down. And one thing about me, I've always kind of been a depressed child growing up. I've always kind of felt alone. I always kind of felt unloved due to my mom's mental illness. I didn't understand it. Um, I didn't understand mental illness growing up, and because of it, and she got diagnosed later on in life as well too. So I thought it was just really mostly her alcoholism playing a part, and I just kind of thought that she didn't like me because I was so much like my dad, that I didn't really understand a lot of things when it came to her. But like I said, one thing that I do know is that when it came to her insulin, she was very, very, very responsible. And it was really weird because the last couple of weeks of her living, she was really, really, really trying to like be in my life, be more vocal. It was kind of like she knew, I'm so sorry, Shan. Many prayers to you and your family. I truly appreciate that. Um, I, you know, I'm trying not to get too choked up because even though it's been many years, I'm still heavily affected. Like I said, I've always been a depressed child, but when my mom passed, and once I found out how she passed, it was like a light that switched for me, and my depression went from bad, bad to worse. I completely shut down. I completely tuned the world out, and that was one of the many things that happened in my life besides my two estranged children being taken away from me. Besides those moments kind of put me in a self-hating spiral, in in a cocoon, if you will. It took me down a path of being closed off. I used to be really, upbeat, funny, life of the party. I'm a dancer. Well, I was. I don't really dance anymore. Um, I used to teach dance. I used to be a part of dance. Dance was my life. And when that happened, I kind of stopped doing everything, you know? So, not are, not was. Yeah, I mean, I do have to be better at saying that, but I'm just being transparent at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, I don't do those things anymore. I keep to myself. I'm trying to get back to that that young girl that I used to be. That go back, and reopen that child in me, that dancer in me, that funny girl in me, all those things. But it's really, really, really hard. And sometimes the life doesn't make it any easier. So, but it is what it is. And I'm working on it. I am working on it. I write in my journals, and I try to stay positive. It's just right now I'm telling y'all, the story, so I have to be transparent, and kind of let y'all know how I truly feel. Right now I don't have a therapist. My insurance kind of lapsed over at the moment, so I don't have my therapist right now. So y'all kind of like my therapy at the moment. Um, and uh, it's kind of fucked up because my therapy sessions ended right as I was learning coping mechanisms. So I was like, "Oh, great! Like I really need this now." So I am working on getting back into my sessions so I can learn more about those coping mechanisms, so I can thrive and be more open and be myself again. And again, um my thyroid illness, a part of the illness, one of the symptoms is that it raises your anxiety, it raises your depression. The irony in that, like if I needed this illness, like God could have gave me a different illness, Lord. He said I'll be your therapist for free. Oh Lord. Like, yeah, I'm working on it, So, but again, when I found out about my mom, I went down a spiral. So I'm at a point now where I don't cry as much, but I don't really celebrate either. Like, my kids will make me gifts, and I get Mother's Day gifts, and things like that. But as far as like, what do you want to do for Mother's Day? I'm like, nothing. I'm good sitting here looking crazy. I'm chilling, But I am trying to do better. Um, I'm trying to get my health intact first, because another symptom with this illness is that it gives body weakness. So right now, my muscles are really weak. So it's hard for me to stand for long periods of time. It's hard for me to even sit at long periods of time, because once I stand up, it feels like the blood is not circulating in my legs. So like everything starts to hurt. So I have to maneuver different. I have to go about things a little different. And that adds on to my depression as well, because I'm only 39. So, it kind of sucks to not be able to maneuver like regular people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't dance. Part of it is because I can't, because it hurts. Even like doing simple things like washing dishes, cleaning up my house. I have to really pace myself because I be in pain a lot. And that's part of the reason why I don't really say much on YouTube or in chats and stuff like that. 'Cause I be in fucking pain. I be hurting over here. So, I, I I don't be wanting the sympathy per se, or I don't want to be a target. So I just kind of shy away from talking about stuff like that. But I've been getting asked by quite a few people, have you been live? Why haven't you been live? Why haven't you done your story times? Are you gonna do story times, or are you just kind of bullshitting? And I was just like, you know what? I don't see nobody live right now, so I'll get on and kind of chat a little bit and kind of see where it goes. But this is technically my first story time. I don't know how I did. I'm sorry that it was kind of dark. It wasn't really positive, but I do these story times in the hopes of somebody watching it and somebody absorbing my energy, absorbing my words, and they can say to themselves, I went through something like this, or I went through worse, and to know that I'm not alone, I'm thankful. That's pretty much the goal. You know, I just want people to know in this world that it's okay to not be okay. I'm all about mental health, mental awareness. For those that don't know, that this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. Shout out to that. So I felt like, and then, Mother's Day just passed, so I felt like it was only right to kind of share that story a little bit, and I'm a little rusty at my storytelling, so again, I apologize, but I hope I conveyed the message as well as I possibly could that, sometimes just because you see a person and you see their avatar and they may look a certain way to you, I don't know what y'all think of me. Maybe y'all may feel like, oh, she seems bright and bubbly through her pictures, or, she seems like this or like that, or, however y'all may perceive me, you know, I want y'all to understand me. And I want y'all to, again, understand that your turmoil, your trials, and your tribulations are not the end all be all. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel how you feeling. Let me check out some of y'all comments real quick. You did amazing. Keep it up. Thank you, Sarah. Butter says, I've been working on a party package, but I've been listening. Thank you for sharing some of your story. I hope I can catch you live. Have a blessed week. You as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for this. I adore you even more. Thank you, Sarah. I love you down. Timothy says you're great. I think you're the best ever, and I love you for you and perfectly perfect. You know what? Fun fact, Timothy, when I was going through the process of starting my YouTube channel, like I said, I've been having this particular channel since like 2016. And I was doing my story times more heavier back then, and I spoke with a little more conviction, a little more, personality, if you will. And I was looking for names for my channel. And because originally I wanted to write a book. This is where the channel comes in. This is the reason why I even made a channel. Because I originally wanted to write a book about my life, but I didn't want to put it as my life. I wanted to kind of put it in third person, like it'll be my story, but through someone else. You know what I'm saying? That was the vision that I had for it. But I I I went through and I'm still going through like this real tough series of writer's block, because how do you write a book about your life in that manner? Like, where do you start? So I decided, well, okay, maybe if I start a YouTube channel and just start kind of like doing vent sessions and telling my story, maybe I can find my footing and I can figure out where to start writing my book. And, somewhere along the way through life and laziness and illness and, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to, give too many excuses, but the truth is the truth. Through, laziness, life, illness, and some more life, I just kind of shied away from it. Just start writing. Yeah, I've heard that before. And maybe I should just start writing. But I be so much in my head, and I like to plan things out. Like I'm that person that, okay, y'all remember back in the day when we was in school and we had English, or language arts class, and we used to learn how to write essays and stories and stuff like that. And they taught us the spider web. Do y'all remember that? Where you put your main idea and you put, all your topics, until it comes into a spider. Like, I'm one of those types. I'm kind of A-brain. So I be trying to organize my stuff too much. And then I get mad when I can't organize it the way I want to organize it. I help you organize. If welcome, I help for people publish their first book. I would definitely consider it. Um, I I would definitely consider it because I still do want to write it. I just, again, have a hard time of figuring out where to go about it. But again, as I was saying, that was the reason why I made this channel in the first place, was because I wanted to write a book and I wanted to help people while helping myself at the same time. Because at this point in my life, in 2016, I'm depressed, non-medicated. I didn't even smoke weed at that moment. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just out here, okay? At this point in my life, I am just out here, just dealing, trying to swallow my emotions, and I can't. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna do this. And as I was stating before, I was trying to come up with a title for the channel because I thought I needed a real cool name, and I needed this, and I needed that, and I needed this. And one of the names that I have in my notebook was Imperfectly Perfect. So it's actually kind of ironic. It's actually kind of funny that you say that I'm perfectly imperfect, because that's what this channel was almost called. So it's kind of like a whoa. Yeah, no, seriously, Timothy. Like, it's kind of like a wow, for you to say that, because that was one of the things that I wanted, that I was going to use. But yeah, I think that is confirmation. It's kind of funny. But with that being said, you guys, I hate to leave y'all so soon. I'm not surprised, but that's 100. I'm surprised because nobody's ever said that to me in all the years of me having this YouTube channel. But again, I didn't want to leave you guys, but I have to go. I got some hungry kids in there, so I need to go whip up something real quick. I need to finish my laundry. I want to try to get a little stretch session, a little workout in. If you have any questions, or if you just want me to talk about something specific. I know y'all don't know much about me, but if y'all have any questions, concerns, or if you just want to chat, feel free to go to one of my posts. Let me see. I would say go to one of my posts and request my IG or something like that, and we can maybe chat from there. Or if the question is not too crazy, feel free to ask a question in one of the statuses I've put up, or however you want to go about it. Yeah, Timothy, you are, but I kind of didn't, I'm a private person, so I hate that you put that out there, but you did, so here we are. But, yeah, feel free to ask your questions, and I will get to you as soon as possible. But I am going to go, Mom, and also do my child's hair, my youngest child. So last week of school, so I'm going to try to do something quick that'll last for a week. And I'm going to go about my day. Y'all probably see me in the chats a little bit. Feel free to speak or whatever. Just don't go too crazy. Again, I'm a private person. I don't like personal stuff to be out. I get, real anxious, and I try to keep my stinger put up. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all just gotta bear with me, Just bear with me. Thank you for the compliments. I feel slightly comfortable doing this live. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I will try my hardest to be back live. I'm going to say tomorrow. I'm not going to say soon, because every time I say soon, I don't get back on this motherfucker for another 3-4 months. So I'm going to make a goal to come back on here tomorrow. Hopefully there's not too much, BS going on around in the YouTube streets. And I'll get back on here, if you guys are bored and y'all just want to chat or whatever. And we can go that way and see where it takes us. With that being said, I love everybody that loves me. And remember, in order to heal, you must already be broken. And what don't break you will definitely make you. Mwah. Love you guys. See you later. Keep God in your life. And everything will be just fine. Bye, y'all.
Bitch, I was made for this. Yeah. I'm swinging them colors, I'm feeling like Blade and shit. Yeah. Bitch, I was made for this.
Talking about
Work for the
Lincoln.
diamond through the door. And it's short in this hole. Watch how you move in this bitch. Cause I got a tool in this bitch. You act like a fool in this bitch. I'm up in and using this bitch. Ain't run up, get done up, it's simple. He play, get heat to his temple. Yeah, I'm really clutching, living like fuck it. Ain't no more talking, fuck all that discussion. Say, watch how you move in this bitch. Cause I got a tool in this bitch. You act like a fool in this bitch. bitch. I'm upping and using this bitch. Hey, run up, get done up, it's simple. He play, get heat to his temple. Yeah, I'm really clutching, living like fuck it. Ain't no more talking, fuck all that discussion. I wanted more, I had to get up and go. Young nigga straight out the O. I hit the dough. Mama, I'm sorry, I know. Can't let them play me for hoe. Can't let them do it. If money talking, I'm fluent. Fuck class, I was truant. Big bag connoisseur. Red flags, lot of shooters. Pull up on you like a Uber. Chopper singing hallelujah. Pockets fat, how you doing? Won't speak on no shit that I did. That shit kinda stupid. Base car good in the hood, I'm reppin'. Wish a nigga would on the hood, I'm steppin'. Big dog, great day, ain't really been pressing. Dirty Glock to his top with it, no effort. Yes sir, 25 lighters on my dresser. Extra, if he try to play me, I'ma stretch him. Bless him, top notch hoes, none lesser. Flexin', top notch flow, unquestioned. Ever